Well, good afternoon, everyone. Well, I should say morning. It's 10 o'clock in the morning. Welcome to the shop. Today we're going to do a service on a couple of snow blowers. I'm hoping it's the last two snow blowers of the season. Our snow is almost all melted off. There's a few drifts out there, so I got a couple of people that are proactive and want me to go through their machines so they're ready to go for next winter. So we're going to do that. The first one's going to be a snapper. I'm not sure the size. It looks like a 30-inch or so. Yeah, I don't know what it is. But yeah, it's a snapper. Got a Tecumseh motor on it. It's not running well. I'll spin you around and let you take a listen to it. I got my door open because I'm running the motors in here, so my heater's kicked on. We're still pretty cold. My watch says it's 45 degrees out there, so it's not too bad. Not too bad. Well, I think we were freezing this morning, so it's warming up. That sun, there's a lot of heat in that sun. So, alrighty, I'll get you spun around, let you listen to this, and then we'll get into doing the service on it. So, in pretty good shape, really. All right, here we go. Okay, hopefully you can hear this over the highway traffic and over the heater. I've got my mic down so that we don't get all that much background noise. So, all right, here we go. We'll start it with the electric start. It full starts pretty good. So let's see, switch on. Okay, that's the pilot jet causing it to surge like that. I can put it on choke, just under half a choke, and it runs pretty good. I kind of looked the rest of it over. The auger looks good, the cutting edge looks good. We'll need to flip it over and check the belts, but I do need to do a carburetor clean on it. So we'll go to the other side and we'll take that carburetor off. Alright, I think you can see what's going on there now. I still got the air compressors running, so this should kick off here in a minute. So we'll go ahead and get this heat shield off. Just got a couple of screws there. A couple of screws, 15 or 5/16 heads. Pull that choke knob off. And we got a kill wire here. The inside's looking pretty nasty. They told me they picked this up several years ago at a garage sale, paid 25 bucks for it. Can you believe that? This is hardly any use on it. He's got a great big riding Cub Cadet with this riding lawnmower with a snowblower attachment. Turn the fuel off. We're on the back side. It's still working all right. And we'll just go ahead and when I do these, I just pull the manifold off of the head, and it's a lot easier than trying to get that back carburetor mount bolt off. That'll just let that tip down. Now I can get at the fuel line on the back side. See if I can get this primer line off without tearing it up too bad. I do have my sonic cleaner over here warming up, so we will run it through the sonic cleaner. Okay, now I got to get to that clamp on the back of there with the fuel line, right back in here. Kind of hard to see. Let's see if I can enhance you a little here. You can kind of see that fuel line right there. There's a clamp right there. Let's see if I can reach under here and spin that line. The clamp is down, which makes it extra hard. There, got it far enough. Prying that line off. Get it started here a little bit, and then I can. There, the heater's off and the compressor's off, nice and quiet. Rag tuck down here, catch that last little dribble of gas coming out of it. All right, do the governor linkage, and you got to kind of watch because that'll spring back up and it comes undone and shoots clear across the shop. But there we go, that's it. And now we'll go over on the bench and we'll pull the carburetor off the manifold. Excuse me. Okay, I'm going to go wash this off a little bit in the solvent tank. I'll be right back. All right, got that taken care of. Got a little bit of that varnish that's on the outside cleared off. So now we'll go ahead and pull this carburetor apart. Kind of just check these jets here. Looks like that main jet was partially plugged. Pretty nasty, and there's a little don't know if you can see it there. There's a little tiny hole right there on the side of this that has to be opened too. Okay, that can go in the wash. Kind of green and a little bit of green and stuff there by the drain. So we'll get that in the wash. That intake manifold in there with it. Got a metal float or a brass float. Needle. The float hinge pin is stuck. See if we can't get that out. And that's sliding back and forth. There we go. But maybe it was stuck in there. Okay. Fatty away here. Now let's see if we can get that emulsion tube out of there. This little torque screw has Loctite on it, so it's kind of hard to get it started. I got it. Okay. Let's see. Got it down. Just got to see if I can get it out now. There we go. Looks like the other left the O-ring up inside. So I just used this tool for Tecumseh's. It's a crochet hook on the end and a little brass gizmo. The camera's not focusing really well. Well, you just reach down in there and hook that O-ring. There we go. And then there's a, this is what the hook is used for. These, let me get in the camera here. The seat right here. You can just take that hook and stick her in there. Pull that seat right out. So, I think that's going to do it. Close up the basket. Put that in the cook for a bit. I use just water and Dawn dish soap. Works really good. Put this little bracket in. Alright, I got it set for 30 minutes. We'll let that go and I'll round up a gasket set and or carb kit and I'll bring it back. Alright, I got the carburetor out of the wash and I found a kit. I'm going to use this kit here. I don't know if you can see the, there you go. So that's the Tecumseh kit I'm going to use. That gives you a bowl gasket, new needle, new seat. What else did they get in there? Main jet washer holds the bowl on. It didn't come with the little O-rings for the emulsion tube for this here. Maybe get this in front of me here. Figure out where I'm at. Yeah, this emulsion tube here. There we go. It's supposed to have two washers on it. So this is, I order them separate. This is the, you can get the number on that. It's actually 50 and they send you 2 packs of 25, but that's the number on that. And while it was in the wash, I drained the oil. I did the spark plug. I put in a new Champion RJ 19LM. So I got that in. Kind of washed it off. I don't have water out here in the shop yet. My well is still frozen. So I'm going to, so I just cleaned it off with some brake clean. So it looks pretty good now. Let's see, what else have we got going here? Got those in. Yeah, so we can go ahead and rebuild this. I got the oil filling. So that's, we'll go back and check that in a little bit. Okay, on this carburetor, there's something here you gotta make sure isn't plugged. Oh, step on your toes there. Right there, that little hole. You can just see it looks like a little speck of dirt. It's a little tiny vent hole. And if that's plugged, you're gonna have problems. And but I got everything out. I pulled the primary. This is the primary jet. This is probably what was giving us all our grief. Little tiny jet in that hole. So hopefully that's cleared out enough. I run a welding tip cleaner through it. That's what I use to clean them with. Got that bad sunshine right there that's kind of raising grief with me, but yeah, so I just use that. And I put a little dab of Loctite on that screw for the flap. So let's get this baby back together. I use a little bit of just Seal Glide all-purpose lube to set these O-rings and things with. So we'll go ahead and we'll put our O-ring on this emulsion tube. They just slide on, and I just use just a little small film. It is pretty crappy lighting, but that's just got to deal with it. Just kind of put a little film on there. Then we'll poke that down inside here. You can kind of feel it when it gets on there. Then I'm going to use my little deal for setting the seats. This little tool fits right in the end of that emulsion tube, and I can just kind of shove her right down in there. Okay, that looks good. Now we'll go ahead and set the needle or the seat for the needle, and on it there's a, get it to focus, come on. One side has a groove around and the other side is smooth, and you want the smooth side towards the needle. So we'll just put a little bit. You can use WD-40. I just use this Seal Glide. It seems to work okay. Something to help it go in. Because after I run it through the deal, I spray everything off with carb spray, so there's like no oil on it at all. You just shove that in, and it comes right off the tool. So that's done. That's done. We'll set the flap. Like that, get that little tiny, I don't even know what it is, it's I think it's a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Looks like a T10 maybe. Pretty small. That started. We'll actuate that so it gets it in position, and then tighten her down. That'll give that a chance to dry. So that looks good. Now we'll stick the primary in. It looks like a jet, but there's no adjustment. It just bottoms out. And then there's a little plastic cap that goes on the end of it. But I'm going to leave the cap off in case that doesn't, if it still surges, I can take that out and drill it a little bit bigger. And that'll give that some more fuel through that. So that takes care of the side. Takes care of the choke flap. So now we'll work on this end. So we'll get our needle and seat set. Okay. that. And this little tool here has a little gauge, so my float's just a little low. So I'm just going to reach in here with a small screwdriver and bend the tab down a little. Pretty close. Should be almost level across there. Yeah, that's pretty good. Do the little puff test, see if it's sealed. It is. Okay. Put our gasket on. I'll just use that same little tool to kind of help work that around in the slot. There we go. A pretty handy little tool. Okay, there's that. Put the bowl on, line the little indent here with the hinge pin. Gasket started around there. Put our main jet in. And this one is the non-adjustable type. So that's on. Then we want our choke lever. Get those started by hand. Then we'll run them home with this. Okay. And then we got our side plate, and the notch goes down. Another 1/4 inch. Okay. And then we'll mount it to the intake manifold. Still has a gasket on it. So we'll turn that around. Sure we don't get our gasket out of alignment. So there's our unit. The only thing we didn't do was put the little cap over the primary jet there, idle jet. And that cleaned up really nice. It was like they anodized the carburetor so it is a different color. But it really cleaned that manifold up nice. All right, I'll get you spun around here and we'll get this put back on. I'll try to do it from the other side so you can see what I'm doing. All right, let me get you set up. There you go. I think you can see what I'm doing now. So, we will get the carburetor here. And we want to hook our linkage up first. And I can see what hole it was in. Got the one with a little bit of wear on it. If the hole isn't really obvious, a lot of times I'll take a little punch, center punch, and punch the punch a little dent right next to the hole that it was on. Get this. Get that clamp turned up there so I'm not fighting that. Then we put the hose on. Just got to grip it so it don't shove back inside. Then set the clamp so it's on top this time, so the next time I go into this I'll be able to get it a little easier. That's our primer hose. Okay, it comes around, we can get that set up there. Get our great big mount intake manifold bolts. Probably can't see, it's probably right behind the muffler, but just putting the bolt in. Turn that down to the #1 setting so I don't get carried away. Okay. Throttle's working. That's working. Come around, turn the fuel on. Fuel's on. We'll check for leaks. Let it sit here and run a bit, and I'll check the oil. Back you off a ways. Right in the middle of the ad, or right in the middle of the operating range, so we're good there. All right. No fuel on the bottom. That's a good sign. Put a little choke on. It's still got the electric start hooked up. Kind of got to stand off the side. I don't want that muffler blowing right in my face. So we'll give her a try. Let's see if it still surges. Give it a little prime. Gotta turn the dang thing on. Gotta lift that lever up. Now it'll go. All right, it's still surging. So let's pull that little jet out of here and we'll enlarge it just a little bit. Or clean it out with a little tiny drill bit. Okay, got it. Alright, let me get you spun around here and I'll show you what I'm doing. Well, here, I can do it from right here, I think. Okay, that right there, little jet right at the end needs to be enlarged. So I have this little tiny set. I don't know if they're wire gauge, it says 01 to 80. You can kind of see there with the size of my thumb. And those are the bigger ones. And if I remember right, it's the middle one on the very back row. Like a 76 maybe? Okay, just got it in a little pin vise. Kind of tiny. And I just go gradual. Got to be careful, you don't want to let it feed in too fast or too hard. It's almost like it's polishing it instead of drilling it. Alright, got to get under the light of the window so I can see what's going on. Oh, bad eyes. Okay. It went through. So now we'll screw it back in here. Hopefully I didn't go too much. And turn it on this time. And we'll try it again. Well, still not quite right there. The high throttle was a little low and the idle was a little low. Let's go up one more size on the drill bit. And we'll try that one more time. We don't want to do it too far. All right, let's do this again. Well, let's see what that does. Well, it's not working out too good. Oh, that's what's wrong. The shaft on the throttle plate looks like it's stripped out. Well, I guess we'll take it back off. Didn't even check that. So we will pop that off of there. That's probably why it was surging so bad. Wasn't that the... So this right here, pull you up a little bit here, and I'll show you what I'm talking about. You spun around here. Get you zoomed in. Enhance, a little more enhance. And enhance. Okay. Let's see if you can see it. See this plate right here? There's movement on that shaft. Let's see if I can grab the shaft here. See how that moves? So we got to fix that. I might have another shaft in there. So pull this primer line off. Back out a little bit. Pull the primer line off. We'll pull this back clamp off again. I'm trying to stay out of your way so you can kind of see what I'm doing. Pry that line off. Oh, that line's got a hole in it. So we'll have to replace that. That can be a chore. And then we'll take the muffler's still pretty hot. All right, harvested that. Bowl, here's our little cap. It's off of there. Yeah, that's got damn near a quarter of a turn. Hoping I can just paint that back over. Let's pull this float off, or the bowl off. And that way there I can get right in there to support that pin. Okay, right here. I think I got a little block of steel I can put under there. We'll put that there like that. And I can set that. Let's take that gasket off. Okay, now I can set that right like that. I can hold the throttle closed. Kind of hold my finger up against the idle stop. See what I'm doing? No, maybe not. Now, still got a little. Let me see if I've got a whole bunch of shafts here. Don't know if I have one. All right, I don't know where my battery went, Dad, but the shaft for the throttle plate, this plate was loose. The pin here was just rattling around on there. I found another deal I thought might work. It looks similar, kind of the same shape. It would have been in this end hole here, but it's a kind of just a little short. So I got that pin back over, so it's good and tight now, and I got that wedge swedge back down on there. You can see this this other one I had. It was swedged down on there pretty good. So hopefully I didn't screw up that pilot jet by drilling it out. Hopefully it'll be all right. So, all right, I'm going to go take a coffee break and let this battery charge. I got you on the power cord now, so it's kind of a pain in the butt with all that cord running around. So I will go take a coffee break and come back and we'll put this back together. All right, we're back. The heater just kicked off, so that worked out perfect. I put the shaft back in, so it's working okay now, and pinned this end of the shaft over, so that's working good. I put a little Loctite on the screw on the end of that butterfly flip, so I'm thinking we're okay. And now we'll put it back together. See if we can get this thing to work. So now I'll just put it back together like I did before, and then we'll get it reinstalled and give it a try. All right, we'll be back in a bit. All right, got her all back together. Let's give her a try. We'll turn the fuel on. Make sure we turn the throttle up, about half throttle. A little bit of fuel drain down in there. And we'll give her a bump. Well, it runs better. At least it doesn't surge when you got it on full throttle. Alright, I'm going to call that good. It doesn't idle down very good. It only goes to about a half throttle. But I might not have had that lever in the exact spot when I repeened it. So, you know, that might be a problem there. But it'll definitely throw snow. And if they complain about that it won't idle down, I'll just order a new carburetor for it. All right, I think I got it. Had to bump the idle stop up a little. It was idling a little too low. It was only idling at about 1400. And I like to idle them at about 18. So that brought it back. And I have the customer's gas in it. Don't know the condition of the gas. It smells good, but you know, it might have some in it. But it's idling now. It's running up. It's not surging. So we'll continue on with the service. I already got the plug. I got the oil. I've checked the belts. We got to put it up on its nose and check the friction drive or the traction drive system. And then we'll call this one done. All right, we'll get you back when I got it on its nose. All right, let's take this belly pan off. Alright, probably going to need a little bit of a light. Kind of eyeball this. Belts look good. Looks like they had a belt scatter on them. Got some parts in here. Good, that we can still see the numbers on that. Friction disc looks fine. You get a rag and we'll wipe that disc off a little bit. Shift it into sixth. That'll slide that disc all the way to one side. Wipe it off a little bit. And then we'll shift it up into second reverse. That'll go the other direction. Wipe that off. Alright. That's pretty good. I'll clean this pan up in the solvent tank and then we'll get it back on. There we go, that looks a little bit better. All right, put those back on, and I think that'll be done. That looks good. Cutting edge looks good. Do a little white down here. Still don't have water out here in my shop, so I would usually pressure wash these and give them back to them, but just give them a good wipe down, they'll be fine. All right, we'll get our tip back over on its fifth wheels and check the tire pressure, and then we'll be done. Well, evidently it needs a little air. About 15 pounds. I put 17 in that one. Figure it's gonna be setting all winter or all summer. All right. Okay, we'll give this one more start. We'll go ahead and do the pull start this time. I might be able to start it from there. Probably don't need to choke it. I can't pull it from that high. Let me let her down a little bit. All right, we'll try it there. Throttle, maybe half choke. Gas is on. Had it over on its nose, so the carburetor might not like it. There we go. Well, that's it. I think that one's done. So that one kind of gave us what they call a red herring with that carburetor. It usually if you can choke them like that and get them to smooth out, that's primary jet. And if you clean the carburetor and it doesn't come around, you can usually drill out that primary jet, and that'll give it more fuel, and it'll quit that surging. But that linkage, that's not a common problem. I mean, I've had a few on riding lawnmowers do that, but I think that's the first one I've had on a snowblower. So we got that one knocked out. It took a little longer than what I thought, but yeah, life's life. That's the way it happens. Appreciate you guys hanging with me. Hit that subscribe button and ding the bell. Give me a thumbs up. And we'll catch you on the next video. Have a great day. Bye.